I'm Amy.
And I'm Carrie.
And we are back on the first day of fall. We're really excited to show you a new recipe going into the new season.
Yes, so a soup that I love to make includes butternut squash, carrots, and apples, all of which are vegetables that are in season right now.
I think we both agree that we both love this season. It's soup season, stew season, and you're going to see a lot of that from us probably. But we just want to show you how easy it is to make a hearty, yummy soup that your whole family can enjoy.
Yep, so we're going to start by using a butternut squash. So butternut squash is sort of this bell-shaped squash with kind of a tan skin that you see. I've already cut this squash, I've scooped out the seeds, and I peeled it. And so for the soup, because I had a nice big squash, we just used half of it. I also used about 10 or 12 large carrots. The number of carrots you use will really depend upon the size of the carrots. I used apples. I used about 4 apples. You don't have to peel the apples because we're going to puree this. And then I just added a little bit of onion for seasoning. Now we've already got a pot of soup over on the stove simmering, but we're going to show you how to season it and how to puree it so you can get it right to your table in time for dinner tonight.
The seasons we're going to be using are just say fall, taste like fall. There's turmeric we're going to use, cumin and cinnamon all mixed together, make wonderful flavors. So do you want to go ahead and show them?
Sure. Let me tell you real quick. Turmeric and cinnamon both are really amazing healing herbs as well. They're great for inflammation as well as adding a lot of good flavor. So come on over to the stove and let's show you what we've got started here.
Let's take a peek in here. So this is just chopped up, coarsely chopped carrots, apples, the squash. And it's just simmering away, getting soft before we get ready to puree it for you into the soup.
Yep, so like I said, I didn't peel the apples. We used half of a large butternut squash again. We used about 10 large carrots, about 4 apples, and all I did was add about 3 to 4 cups of vegetable broth. You could use a chicken stock as well if you wanted to, but I like the vegetable flavor with this. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the stove off. We're going to let it cool down a little bit, and then we're going to add our seasonings. So I'm not a big measurer of seasonings. I think you should just season your food until it kind of tastes the way you like it.
Like we love cinnamon, so we might use a little extra of that.
Yeah, so the turmeric has sort of a mild flavor. It'll have an earthiness to it. That's probably about a teaspoon of turmeric.
I'm going to go ahead and add the cinnamon all the way around.
And probably about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. That's probably good.
Okay, good.
And then we'll add our cumin. So cumin is commonly associated with Latin or Mexican food, but it's an amazing fall spice. And it has a very, very, very strong flavor. So again, maybe around just a half a teaspoon. Okay? And then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. You want to do the salt,
Sure.
Amy? And I would say a nice, oops, again, something falls. A nice, generous pinch of the salt and just a couple of shakes of your pepper there.
You can season this to taste. Tell me when you think this is good.
Maybe a tiny bit more.
Tiny bit more?
I use pink Himalayan sea salt, but of course you can use coarse kosher salt or whatever you like.
I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing.
It does. It smells super,
And look
super
how
good.
beautiful these colors are. I mean, we really encourage everybody to eat really vibrant and bright colors.
Well, the colors in this is what gives the strong phytonutrients that you find in the butternut squash. This recipe is also loaded with vitamin C, vitamin A, B complex. There's lots of fiber in it. So what these vegetables, after I cut them and added the broth, we simmered them for about 15 to 20 minutes. That's all it took. So the next step is going to be pureeing this.
And you just want to have them, what would you say, just soft enough that you could put a fork or a spatula through it before you puree. And Carrie's going to use an immersion blender. But if you don't happen to have an immersion blender, you can use a real blender. I would just suggest doing it in small batches so you don't take the chance of it exploding on you. Or
you can use a food processor even.
Food processor, yeah.
Yeah, so an immersion blender is just a blender you can put right into your pot. These you can pick up for as inexpensive as $19. You can get a fancy one, like I was gifted this one for my husband and kids for Hanukkah.
Well, I'm sure you use it a lot.
I do use it a lot. So you're just going to put it right in your pan. We're going to start the pureeing process. And you can see immediately it starts to puree the food. Okay, so as you'll see, we've got it really creamy, nice and pureed. You're just going to tap off the side of that emulsion blender. You may need to add a little bit more broth as you go, depending upon how thin or how thick you like the soup. But I'm going to scoop up.
And before she even puts it in the bowl, I am going to taste test it really quick. I can't even wait.
There you go.
Right out of the bowl. Oh my goodness.
It's delicious, isn't it?
Amazing.
Full of really yummy fall flavors. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys.
You can't even taste, like, your children will not even know butternut squash is in there. It tastes like candy. It's so good.
It is really tasty. Yeah. And you can taste the apples, which is nice. Your kids will like that. So I hope you have fun enjoying picking pumpkins and apples this fall. And we hope that you give our soup a try.